Let me see here. I believe so. Let me post this on Twitter. No, shut up. Shut up. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now, let me post this on Twitter, and then we will get going. Now, this is live. Hold on, sorry. There we go. We're not talking in 5 different areas. What is up, everybody? We are going to do another live stream tonight. We're going to talk about anime, and we're going to paint some trees and houses. So, I was running late, and I am very out of breath right now. So give me 5 seconds to post this, and then, because I forgot something, I forgot this, and I'll explain what that is here in a minute, but I forgot that, and so I had to run and get that, and now I am finally up and going. So give me just a moment, and I will get going. If anyone has anything to say, feel free. We'll start a discussion or whatever. I really need to invest in the time to do it to where I can play music, because I feel like it's very dull right now. Okay, so live stream is up on Twitter, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain what we are doing. So basically, if you see this thing over here, this is my Attack on Titan setup. I will quickly kind of show you this here. So as you can see there, it is all of the little town here from Attack on Titan, Shiganshina and everything. And if I put that back there, you'll see here, I've cut out a bunch of these. So this is all made out of wood. And you'll see there that it is just wooden houses that I've made. They're technically supposed to be like 3-story buildings, but they're like 1/400th scale. So they're very tiny. So yeah, there you go. I also have trees that we'll have to put in and everything like that. So there's a lot that has to go into it and everything. So it's going to be a kind of a slow process. But hey, the last few weeks we've just been making just random conversation here. I figured I'll do this and then have a conversation while we're doing that. So we're going to try to do that tonight. So I probably won't stream super long because I'm not feeling real well and a few other things. So don't know how long we'll get going. We'll paint a little bit and then we'll see where it goes. I'd like to paint at least a few houses and then we'll go from there. We'll see how it's going. So the first one did okay. The second one did pretty good. So we're gonna go with that. We're gonna see where we get to. So I'm gonna turn the camera slightly here so that you guys can see what I'm doing here. But here is our little box that we have here. And here's our little houses. I used they're just sample paints that you can get off of, I think I got both of these from Home Depot. So there you go. It's either Home Depot or Lowe's, one of the two. So there you go. I got those, and yeah, so we're just gonna use those and go with it. So yeah. Hello, Slayer. I remember seeing you last week, so thank you for stopping by once again. I also have, I haven't put a bunch of these on it yet. I have a bunch of these little they're little like grass things that I can just stick onto it. Found a bunch of these, so I've got a bunch of them. So we'll add those to it. And then this is originally what I did, and I don't know if I have something to kind of show this. Originally what I would do is I would paint all of the lines on this, which I'll show it to you again. I would paint all of these little details on here, and that took forever. So what I do now is I use, hold on, sorry for the shaky cam. I use this thing, and here, I'll just do this. There we go. So originally, I just painted all of these details onto here, which was very slow, very, very tedious. Now I just use this, and it's actually more, not that side, that. It's like a paint marker type thing. More precise, and my lines look better, and I just think it looks better. If you can tell here, these here use the marker. Those use paint. These use the marker. So yeah, I can't really tell a difference. You can see I got them mixed up, and I was the one that did it. So I'm not quite concerned about it, to be honest. But hey, maybe you have an opinion on it. So yeah, if you have anything to add, feel free to add it in. I do have a few things that I thought would be interesting to talk about while we're here. And so we'll do that and kind of just go with it. And this is the first time you've ever seen this table without a tablecloth on it. So there you go. So yeah. All right. Well, let's get right on into it. This is like the first time I've actually had like a task that I wanted to do, because the last few, we had a good chat session, but I don't feel like we accomplished much during the live stream, which is kind of what I want to do because they were kind of like meaningless. And so today we're going to try to do that. Now, I don't think, good gosh, I haven't opened this in a long time. Good gosh. Well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Well, can I open this one? But I thought the last few had good like chat sessions, but I didn't think they had like very good, like if you wanted to rewatch it, I don't think it was very interesting. Maybe that's just me. That one opened just fine. Why won't this one open? I don't know. If anyone would like to chat, let me know. I did think about doing like a community like town hall for one of these. I'm trying to figure out different ideas because I'm basically just shooting in the dark. What is up, guys? Thank you so much. Slayer, not anime related, but my camera is right in front of my chat. There we go. Let me fix this. There we go. Not anime related, but what do you think of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series? My brother are almost finished with it, and we have been enjoying it. So I will talk about, there we go, finally. I'll talk about that briefly. I do want to talk more about specifically Andor next week. So I think that'll be kind of fun. But my thoughts on the Obi-Wan series. So I'm kind of biased to the Obi-Wan series because I actually went to Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim back in 2022. And that is when Ewan McGregor was there, and they were doing like all of the press for the Obi-Wan series, and because it was just about to air. I went to the world premiere of it and everything. It was really fun, and I think as a whole, the series was very fun. Now I do think, how long will this piece finish? So I've been working on this for about 1.5 years, and I am about halfway done. So yeah, I do have a lot of houses cut out, so if we get all these painted, it'll be this will be a big chunk done. Now I'm only working on this like sometimes, not all the time, but yeah. Back to the Obi-Wan thing. I thought, you're going to notice that I'm out of breath a lot. I have a sore throat, and I continually run out of breath. But I feel fine. It's just my throat is sore. Back to the Obi-Wan thing. So I think it would have been an amazing film. I think the Obi-Wan series would have been a fantastic film. Because while I do enjoy it, and I had a lot of fun with it, I think it's about a 3-hour-long show. Not 3. It's about a 4-hour-long show if you watch it like straight through. Here's what the house will look like when it is done. So as you can see here, it starts off as all white, I paint a red roof. It's tedious, but that's all that I have to do. And then I have to come back in later on and do this, but we'll do this here in a little bit. But I thought if you were to cut a few things out of that show and really like stripped it down, you made a really, really nice series or really, really nice film, you could have had an amazing like 2-hour film. And I think it would have been amazing. I think it really would have done well in like box office and everything. I know it was right around, you know, the whole pandemic thing and everything, so it was obviously going to struggle, but I mean, I think it did. I think it would have been amazing. Not anime related. Are you a DC or Marvel fan, and who is your favorite hero or villain? I'll talk about that in a minute because I just watched Thunderbolts as well. Actually, I'll tie it together. So, I said this. I put out a tweet a few days ago, or yesterday actually, and I said that right now Star Wars is putting out the best content they've put out in years with Andor, and Marvel is putting out the best content they've put out in years with Thunderbolts. Don't at me. I think Thunderbolts is the best thing Marvel has put out since Endgame. I really do. Honestly, I'd almost put it above Endgame, other than the fact that Endgame is really fun. I don't think Endgame. I don't think Thunderbolts is like as big of an event as that, but I think it's very fun, and it's very good storytelling. As for Star Wars, I think both Star Wars and Marvel are realizing it's not a we are burnt out on Star Wars, it's not we're burnt out on Marvel, it's that we don't want to watch these series and movies that aren't good. We don't want to watch series that are just mediocre. You're not going to be able to slap Star Wars, slap Marvel on the poster and people go watch it. It just won't happen. So you have to make good storytelling for people to continually go out and watch it. I think the best example of that is the movie Solo. I didn't really like Solo. I mean, I know a lot of people were like, you know, they're kind of like sympathetic towards it now. I don't think it was that good. And, you know, that's just my opinion on it. I think the cast was very good, but I think the movie as a whole was not that good. And I think that showed by the fact that the box office kind of sucked. Like, it didn't do that well. And I think that's, you know, something to point out that, you know, they need to realize if they make good stuff like Thunderbolts, which I know Thunderbolts isn't like killing it in box office right now, but it definitely is like, there's a lot of buzz around it, and it's a lot of good buzz. It's not a lot of like Quantumania, Ant-Man 3 had a lot of buzz around it, but it was mostly like, this movie sucks, don't go watch it. And what do you know? A lot of people didn't go watch it. And then you have movies like the Marvels that no one watched. As for DC, I'm going to give you a really hot take. I don't like anything out of the DC cinematic universe or DCEU or whatever it was, the Justice League movie, all the Snyder stuff, Aquaman, Wonder Woman. Didn't like any of it. I tried, really did. I think the only thing that I kind of enjoyed was Man of Steel. I thought that was fun, but not. I wasn't crazy about it. I didn't think it was perfect. The last, I liked Joker 1, didn't like Joker 2. I tried to watch the Batman and I enjoyed it. I thought it was very good, but it is not what I want out of a superhero movie, so I wasn't really a big fan of that. I am very optimistic, though, that the James Gunn Superman movie will be pretty good, though. That's my hope really relies on that James Gunn movie is going to be really good. But besides that, I don't really have a lot of. I've always been more. This was even before like growing up. I always liked more of the Marvel. Like I liked Spider-Man. The one exception was that I really liked the Dark Knight movies, but I think everybody did. So yeah, that's. But I always liked like Spider-Man and the X-Men and stuff like that. I thought they were really cool. So that's where I was growing up pretty much. But yeah, what if anyone that is watching, let me know. What do you think about the current situation with Marvel or DC or Star Wars? Because, and like I said, we're gonna talk more about Star Wars next week because we're gonna build a Lego set. But um, definitely a interesting time because I think if so, Marvel, I'm very confident about the future because they have two really good, I think, what will be two really good Avengers movies. I don't think they can fail with these. I think there's too much going for them. They can't fail with these movies. I think the new Spider-Man will be very good, and I think Fantastic Four looks fantastic. Say that again, meme. But I think Star Wars is in a much more. I'm less optimistic for it because you have the Mandalorian and Grogu, which that's. I'm very not. I love the Mandalorian as a character, and I love what the series has going for it. However, I do think it could be very easy for that to be that could become another Solo to where just nobody cares. It's going to be overshadowed by the better Marvel movie of the month, which will be Avengers, and I just don't think. I think it has a very if Mando and Grogu need a lot of good word of mouth because if people go watch it, you have that initial rush that's going to go watch it no matter what. And if those people say it's all right, half of your audience that would go watch it is not going to go watch it. They're going to say, well, it'll come out on Disney Plus eventually. I'm just going to wait. The thing that made Thunderbolts really good, the thing that has made Marvel movies and Star Wars movies good in the past is you needed to go watch it immediately to get that initial reaction. If you don't get that, then you lose out on a lot of people going and watching it. And if Mando isn't at least it's got to be at least a 8 out of 10 in my opinion to make it to where people will want to go watch it. So, I think there's a good chance that they can do that, but it'll be, yes. So I haven't watched the new Daredevil show yet. I've heard it is pretty good. So from what I saw, there was two groups of people that made that show. There was the old people, not older people. They were the old directors, writers, whatever. They wrote like a few episodes. They wrote the middle chunk of Daredevil. Then the new people came in, and they're the people that made the old Daredevil shows. They made like the beginning episode and the ending. And I've heard those episodes are amazing. I've heard the middle ones are not that good. And thankfully, the people that made the really good episodes, they're coming back and they're making season 2. So looking forward to that. Why do you like Spider-Man? I just think he's a really cool character. I think it's very easy to make in my opinion, it's more interesting to make a character to where it's very easy to explain their powers. It's very easy to explain why they're here. So Superman, he's super strong. He's got all these powers. He fights crime, or he fights bad guys. There you go. As for Wonder Woman, okay, super strong woman. There you go. Batman, super rich, has the ability to, so he does it. Same thing with Iron Man and everything. Captain America, same thing as Superman. What makes Spider-Man different, in my opinion, is that he is a kid in most of his appearances. He is whenever he gets his powers. And I think it's really interesting that, he is able, the way his character is able to kind of become a hero, not because he feels obligated to, but he knows this is what I'm supposed to do. He doesn't have to do what he does. He just does it because it's the right thing to do. And I like that. I like that a lot. What do you think about the hot toys of Star Wars and Marvel And will you get one someday? I have like probably I have every Rey Hot Toys that's come out. I have a few Leias. I don't have a Darth Vader. I do have Obi-Wan and Anakin. I have Yoda. I have Rex, and I have Ahsoka and Jyn Erso. And I think all of them are great. I think they are fantastic. Why I haven't bought one in a while, just they were expensive, and I don't want to say I was burnt out on Star Wars, but I definitely was like not as into it as I once was. And so I just kind of like said, well, I'd rather spend my money elsewhere right now. I am coming back around to Star Wars to where I'm like, yeah, I want to buy more stuff from Star Wars. I want to be more involved with the fandom. And so I'm kind of probably working my way back there. But right now I'm like, I want to focus on like Lego side of that right now. So I actually have never, I didn't know a lot about the Ultraman franchise until recently, and I still don't know a lot about it. Like, I don't know what it's about and everything like that. But I didn't know that it was kind of like a big deal. And so it's definitely something that I want to get, I'll check out at some point. I don't know how quick I will. It's kind of like Godzilla. Like, I was really interested in Godzilla. I thought it was like really interesting for a long time. And but I didn't really like get into the franchise until very recently, and I loved it. So there's a very good chance that even though I'm not watching the Ultra, or I haven't watched anything, or gotten into anything with Ultraman yet, there's a good chance that I probably will once I finally get into it and everything. Do you like horror stuff or movies and anime? Of movies and anime. It is not my like go-to. Some things I think are very good. It is just not my go-to. I'm not a huge like horror fan. Uh, I think there definitely is good stuff with it, but I am not. It's just not my cup of tea and everything. But I can see the appeal of it. It's still huge in Japan and Asia. Dozens of series and movies. Some of the newest seasons being dubbed by Akatron 5000 in Texas for the anime voice actors. Huh. Interesting. I will check it out. I promise you, I have been checking out some of the Ultraman stuff. I haven't like really deep dived into it, but I have looked into it some, especially recently. A few weeks ago, actually, I was looking into it because there was something from that went on sale on AmiAmi and it caught my attention. And so then I started looking into it. If you are just joining in, we are painting houses for my Attack on Titan setup. You can see it over here. We're painting little houses to put in there. We'll paint the roofs red, then we'll come back through and we'll paint all of the details on the houses. So we're also just talking about anime, stuff like that. So yeah, if you're interested, that is what we're doing today. So far, I have painted 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 houses. I think there's about 120 of them here. Yeah, so that's one thing. That's kind of why I took so long to get into the Godzilla franchise, because it was kind of daunting to me, is that I was like, there's a lot to this franchise. I don't know where to start. Then I got into it and I was like, okay, well, this makes more sense. Like, it's not as complicated as what I thought. And there's a lot of them that's like that. Love Live was one of them where I was like, this is kind of complicated. The only series that I like started to look into because I wanted to watch it, and then I was like, or get into it at all, and then I was like, this is just, I was too daunted by it, or I was too overwhelmed by it, and then I was like, nope, not even gonna try that right now. I'll come back to it another time. Was Gundam. I looked into Gundam. I really wanted to get into Gundam, and then I was just like, I have no clue where to start. I don't know what any of this means, and I'm just not going to get into it right now. I'll try again another time. Do I still think Gundam looks really cool? Yes. Will I get into it right now? No. but I will probably get into it at some point. But is it going to be like anytime soon? Probably not, to be honest. Um, Not that it's, bad by any means. It's just I was really overwhelmed by everything whenever I looked into it, and that's why I was like, nope, not right now. But I understand that, it's a big deal, and I probably will at some point. But I will definitely look into the franchise of Ultraman. Uh, it's something that I think, looks interesting at least. I don't know a lot about it, but it looks interesting. The character design and everything. What was I talking about earlier? I was talking about something, and I was going to bring it back up because that reminded me. Uh, oh, Star Wars. Do you think Spider-Man would be a good anime with Studio Ghibli style? Not Studio Ghibli. What I think would be a good... I think, and this is back to the Star Wars thing, I think it is really interesting that Star Wars is kind of accepting that, hey, it'd be really cool if we let other creators try to do different stuff with Star Wars. So when they're making that new anime, that's The Ninth Jedi, that's really interesting. And I wish more studios would do that. I wish they would be more open to letting their characters be used in anime or other projects to basically say, this is not canon, this is not happening in the main universe right now, but we're going to let it go on. I think if you gave like a studio like Trigger a Spider-Man series, it could be really cool. I don't think Studio Ghibli would be very good at it because Studio Ghibli is not really an action series, and you definitely need action for Spider-Man, so I don't think it would really work with that. But I could see it with, like Trigger animation, stuff like that. I think they could definitely do it in a few different styles. I think other studios could definitely do it. Now, like, could you make a Star Wars series? Could Studio Ghibli do that? Absolutely. Will they ever? No. They will never, never, never do that, in my opinion. I just don't think Studio Ghibli's interested in doing that. They don't need to. They can continue to make the series or make the films they've been doing, and they're just fine. What worries me about Studio Ghibli is the one time they made a new film without like their classic filmmakers was Earwig and the Witch, and it sucked. And so I haven't even watched that yet because I bought it. I bought the steelbook of it, but I was like, I'm not even bothered by this one, so I'm not even going to watch it. And I haven't yet, but I am very worried that when Miyazaki, something happens to him, then we're in trouble. I'm worried about that. But hopefully he lives forever and we never have to worry about that. But that's really the big question there. My favorite Ghibli film is Tales from Earthsea. I haven't watched that one. I have watched 11 of the movies. I've watched The Wind Rises. I've watched My Neighbor Totoro, Secret Life of Arrietty, Kiki's Delivery Service, Ponyo, Castle in the Sky, Spirited Away, Grave of the Fireflies, Princess Mononoke. What's the other one? Oh, did I say Castle in the Sky? I think I did. I watched 10 of them. Or I've watched 11 of them, plus Boy and the Heron. Boy and the Heron was good. If I had to rank the ones I've watched, it'd be Kiki's Delivery Service is my favorite one. I think it's very, very good. Second, I'd put Castle in the Sky. Third, probably Grave of the Fireflies. That's a tough one. I'll think about that. Replying to about Madhouse or Mappa. I'd probably say Mappa. The question was who's better, Madhouse or Mappa, meaning the anime studios. No, Madhouse. When Mappa is at their best, Mappa is fantastic. But overall, I'd say Madhouse. Just my opinion. But Mappa at their best is amazing. Like, Mappa at their best is unbeatable. The only problem is Mappa takes way too much stuff, and then whenever they don't, they are overwhelmed and they have to skip, cut corners and stuff. You can really tell, and it's not very good. But unfortunately, that's the case. But it seems like they're kind of slowing down. Not a ton, but they're kind of slowing down. Attack on Titan's over. So that's a big one. But hopefully they continue to make good stuff. They're a very good anime studio. Both of them are very good. So I don't really, it's like, what's better, cake or pie? Well, I like both of them, so I'm not really complaining if I get both or if I get one or the other. So, I was trying to think what my best. This was actually a thought I had for a full-length video the other day. What's the best anime studio? And I ended up deciding it wouldn't be an interesting video, but right now I think it's Trigger. I think Trigger is making the best quality stuff right now, and I don't think it's even close. Is there a current big hit right now? What is your soul right? I haven't watched that one. I'll have to look that one up. Hello, Austin. Thank you for stopping by. If you are unaware, and I know there's probably a few of you that don't know what's going on, what we are doing is we are building a small-scale version of Attack on Titan. Here is the little houses that we are painting right now. We're painting all the roofs right now, and as you can see here is what we're painting. So this is the little houses here. There's little trees and everything like that. So we're doing that. And we're painting a little bit here and there. And then once we get them all painted, we will put them on the thing. So yeah, there we go. Will you ever go to Japan? So right now my plan is to either go in January or next November. I'd like to go in either one of those 2 times. I know that's a big gap, but that's my plan. And probably once I go once, I'll probably want to go again. But I'd like to go either next January or next November. It kind of depends on a few different things. Specifically, like what's going on in the world right there, and what like personal stuff is going on. But that's my plan. Like I said, I'll probably go back multiple times, but for now, that's my plan. Yeah, Austin, hope you enjoy. If you do we're just talking about anime, stuff like that. Whatever you want to bring up. If you want to bring up a topic or whatever, feel free. We can talk about it. You can voice your opinion. If anyone does have any opinions on the Marvel stuff or Ghibli stuff or whatever, feel free to add in. I'll continue to voice my opinion on it. Oh, I did get, and you'll see this as a short here in a few weeks probably, but I did get a cool Attack on Titan thing today in the mail. So I got the pop-up parade of the female Titan, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited to unbox that. I actually just got this before I went live earlier, so we'll set that right there. But I won't be opening it tonight. I will be opening it on a short that you'll see soon. So I had an awesome birthday. I got a new Naruto phone case and some new boxing gloves. That is awesome. Happy birthday. I have always been jealous of people that have birthdays when the weather is nice, because mine is in August and the weather is never nice because it is super, super hot and you can never do anything. Not that I really care, because I don't like doing stuff for my birthday, but you can, I never do much. I need something to hold this paintbrush because I keep doing that. Oh, another thing. Speaking of projects, I am now selling these. I need to get my light over here. I'm now selling these. These are little necklaces for Demon Slayer. They are the sword guard for Rengoku. They're handmade. They're all wood and everything. So yeah, if you want to pick up one, they're on my Etsy. I posted a link to that on Twitter. There will be another link to that in my link tree, which I don't know if I put that in my description. I will put it in the description of the newest video. So the next video you see, try to remember that, check in the description, it'll be there. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I also just realized, because I have sold one of them, and it was to somebody that is not involved with the community, so they can't see this. But they're supposed to get a glossy overcoat at the end of it. I forgot to put that on theirs. Whoops. Who's better, Toby or Andrew Spider-Man? I'm gonna be honest. I kind of like Tom Holland. I know that's a hot take, but I like Tom Holland. I think he does a really good job, and I really like his little trilogy of movies. Not that I think Toby or Andrew's bad by any means. I love all three of them, but that's my opinion. I do think the best Spider-Man movie is Across the Spider-Verse. That's also a hot take, but that's just my opinion as well. I don't think it's Into the Spider-Verse. I think it is Across the Spider-Verse. Um, Mitsuri is the best Hashira and the best girl in Demon Slayer. Best girl in Demon Slayer? Yeah. Best Hashira? That's a tough one because I really like Tengen. Really like Tengen. Tengen's probably my favorite, but I do agree she's probably best girl because the other one would be Shinobu Rakano, and both of those are going to have some really cool moments in the Infinity Castle movies, but I do like Mitsuri. Mitsuri's really cool. Um, she, I do have a quarter. There's a bug. Dang it. Die, bug. But I do have a quarter scale figure of her, so I do like her character quite a bit. Um, Going to see the Demon Slayer movie when it comes out? Yes, I am super excited. I'd like to go see the Mugen Train one so I can see the trailer, but there is no one showing the Mugen Train movie near me. So I'll just have to see as it gets closer if they open up more theaters and whatnot. And by the time of the Infinity Castle, I would assume they will show it in more theaters and I can go watch it because I'm super excited about that. Shinobu's really good. I do think in this new movie, I think she'll have some really cool scenes, and I think it will be some really, it'll be really cool to see her in action because I think she has one of the best arcs. Her and Kano have some really cool stuff in the movie to come, and I'm looking forward to it. No spoilers, obviously, but I'm really excited about that. Please do not post spoilers in the replies either. Just be vague about it if you uh, are or if you do know what happens. But and I like Funko Pop set anime figures as well. So you'll see back there, I do have a bunch of My Hero Academia Funko Pops back there, and then right there, to where you can't see them, is my Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan set. My Attack on Titan set is done. I actually have every Attack on Titan Funko Pop. I have about half of the My Hero set, and then I have all but probably about 7 of the Demon Slayer set. I'd like to finish that soon. And I do have all but about, no, that goes in the way. But I do have all but about 2 of the Chainsaw Man set. So I'm excited, and I'm excited for the Spy Family set, and I'm excited for the Freeman set. We're getting 2 really cool Funko Pop sets that I'm excited to get into. Yeah, I want. So, Classroom of the Elite is a series that I have thought about getting into, and I feel like I would enjoy it. But it's just one of those to where there's a lot of it out, and I kind of want to have time to like watch all of it. Like, for example, and if you hear, there's someone in the chat that would know about this. I'm not good about watching anime that is kind of like 2 or more seasons, because like right now I'm watching. Besides seasonal anime, there's 2 anime I'm watching. I'm watching Mashal and I'm watching Cafe Terrace and its Goddesses. And both of those are 2 seasons. And I am slow on finishing stuff like that. 12 episode series, I can start a 12 episode series tomorrow. And for some reason, I can finish that by end of the weekend. Easy. But if it's like 24, 36, 48 episodes, I am, for some reason, once I hit like that 12 episode mark, I am struggling. And usually it's not because it's bad, it's just because I'm like, okay, I want to go watch something else now. I think that's why I kind of like slice of life series, because I can just be like, boom, 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 boom. I like to experience a story, move on. And then if I want to, when there's a season 2, I come back. So, yeah. Um, Now, that's not always the case. Watch My Hero Academia, I binged through that whole series because I really enjoyed it. But if unless it's like a series that I really, really get into, I struggle to get through it. How do you have all those Pokemon Pops and no trainers? So that's not Pokemon. That is. Is it Pokemon? No, it's not Pokemon. That's My Hero Academia. I don't have any Pokemon Pops. Actually, I have a giant Charmander and I have a giant Bulbasaur, but I don't have. I missed out on getting the giant Squirtle, and that kind of ruined me for the whole set. Sadly, I wanted to get the whole set, but I didn't. You should check out the fighting game called Dead or Alive 5 Last Round, or Dead or Alive 6. They're good fighting games. Is that the series to where they do like beach volleyball in their bikinis? I think I'm thinking the wrong one. Oh, yes. I get what you're saying, Ryan. I'll reply to you here in a moment, Slayer. But I get what you're saying now. Okay, yes. They have made a ton of Pokemon Pops. They've not made any trainers. I would absolutely buy a Marnie from Sword and Shield. I'd buy her Funko Pop immediately. Don't know why they never have. I assume it's like a licensing thing, but I don't know. I think you would enjoy Classroom Elite. The main character is similar to I don't know how to pronounce his name, from Snafu. Uh, yeah, I've heard that it's very similar. It's got a lot of. It's comparable to Snafu, and that's interesting to me because I like a lot of the aspects of Snafu. I don't love everything about Snafu, but I like a lot of the aspects of Snafu. So I'll check it out soon. It's definitely on my watch list, but. Yeah, I knew they had the beach volleyball games. I knew that. I knew that name from somewhere. But I know they should. I should check out the actual game, not the beach volleyball ones. Um, Let me paint that real quick. Had a good brush stroke going. You should have made the Vigilante Deku into a black and white chase like the manga. I have said for the longest time, instead of doing like these metallics and all that, chases and everything, I wish they just do black and white variants because it would make so much sense. You could say these are the manga variants, and they had this going with Attack on Titan where they did Eren and the Colossal Titan. Had no clue why they haven't done this more because it is such an easy idea to where all you have to do is say it's the manga variant, and then bam, you have a alternate chase Funko Pop. There you go. It's so easy, but yet they don't do it, and I don't know why. I would buy so many of those because I do think they're really interesting, but they don't, and I hate that because that's a really cool idea. But what do I know? Vigilante Deku is a phenomenal Funko Pop. I love that Funko Pop. It is so good. It is really good. I want to count these houses real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so I've done 33 of them so far. 33. Continuing on. I'm very good at fighting games. I suck at fighting games. I suck at fighting games. I'm kind of good at Smash. I'm not good at any of like the Dragon Ball games or anything like that. Mortal Kombat, never been any very, very good at. The types of games I'm really good at is racing, and specifically arcade type racing, so like Mario Kart. Very good at that. And strategy games. I'm very good at strategy games. Fire Emblem's one of my favorite game series of all time. And once I'm able to like actually figure out how this streaming thing works, I'd love to stream one of the Fire Emblem games. I think that'd be very fun. But yeah, those are the two types of games I'm pretty good at: strategy and then racing. Kind of like polar opposites, but I think I'm fairly good at them. Now, that's not to say I don't like fighting games. I think fighting games are pretty fun. I've been trying to find the Demon Slayer fighting game because I played it at a convention, and it was very fun. And I'd like to play that again at some point. I know there's a new one coming out, but I'd like to get the first one because why not have both? But I'll probably have to order it because I haven't been able to find it in person anywhere. I have been looking for that for months. Okay, let's see here. Smash Bros. Is probably my favorite, best fighting game franchise. So I'm kind of good at that. Not like super good. Like if I entered a tournament, I wouldn't win, or I wouldn't even finish top 10. But I favorite characters from that, in my opinion, I like Byleth. Um, in a casual setting, I'm good with the Mii Brawler, but it's not good competitively. Um, I kind of like um, who else? Who else? Um, I don't know. There's another one that I'm good at in that game, but I can't remember them. Oh, Zelda. Zelda. I'm pretty good with Zelda. Um, I play the Demon Slayer game as well. Heard they're coming out with a part 2 of the Demon Slayer game. Yes, it is coming out sometime this year. I think it might be August. And it's going to cover everything from Entertainment District to the Hashira training. So yeah, pretty cool. I saw a nude filter for the Demon Slayer fighting game. It was very nice. I did not know that existed, but there you go. Definitely something to check out there. The thing is, though, I would play it on. Gosh, that was almost dangerous. There we go. I need something to put that in. I would play it on PlayStation because I can play it on that thing, and so that's my only thing. I can't play it on like my computer or anything. Plus, I'd like to have a physical copy of it. But uh, mods are cool if you play them on PC or whatever. I would assume they'll make a third one, and then it will cover the Infinity Castle and Sunrise Arc, but we'll have to see because it will probably be a hot minute before they'll do that one because it's we are currently talking about as far as conversation, we were talking about the Demon Slayer fighting games and other fighting games and what I'm good and bad at. If you were just joining in, though, because I do need to kind of update this. I wish I had it, which, I mean, I guess the title of it's telling you. But we are painting houses. These are little houses that we are painting here. What these houses are for is if I pick you up here and I take you over here, you can see there we're painting a bunch of houses. So yeah, and this is going to be our Attack on Titan setup. We also will be painting we painted some trees. We got to paint some more eventually. Have a bunch of those. And yeah, we've got a bunch to paint. So yeah, and then Nezuko is back there hanging out. So yeah, I did need to move her like, I need to move her like this way so that she can hang out. There we go. This reminds me. So I'm gonna bring this up. Yes, it's very tiny. This is very tiny. It's like it's either 1/800 or 1/400 scale. I can't remember. I figured it out one time. This reminds me though. So this is, once again, this is a thing that I made. Yeah, it's the Nezuko chair. You can see on the back there, it's all of Nezuko's colors and everything. I thought it was very cool. It was either that or Inosuke, and at the time, I thought Nezuko was cooler than Inosuke. I think Inosuke is really cool in that final arc, so I might have gotten an Inosuke one now, but at the time, I thought Nezuko was really cool. I mean, she still is really cool, but Nezuko was my favorite out of the ones they had. If they would have had a Tanjiro one, probably would have picked that Tanjiro, but it is what it is. But do you like the gold chain like that? The leather chain. Personally, I'm kind of fond towards this one, but everybody else that I've asked says the leather one is better. That's just my opinion. I think the gold one's cooler too. Okay. That Demon Slayer Mario game, party game is bad. It's fun for a bit, but then it becomes boring. Yeah, I figured it was. But that's kind of to be expected, to be honest, because it's like party games are fun for a few times, and then they just fail to mimic what Mario Party has already done better. So that's really the big problem with those. But yeah. Okay. I need to wash my paintbrush out. So, I need to go get some water, and I will be right back. Hang on. We're going to make a sign. What did you say? Hang on. Let me try to catch up on some. It looks like a huge diorama. It is. It is very big. And then it has all of the Attack on Titan English voice cast on the side and on the front and on that side too. But I haven't filled them up. Let me find something to talk about. Nezuko plushie was $800. It is very expensive, but it is hard to find. Favorite Spider-Man lover, MJ, Gwen, or Black Cat? I really like Gwen, even though I like the way that her story ends. How have I been? I have been quite good, to be honest. I have a bit of a sore throat, but actually, as I've been talking, it has kind of gone away. So maybe it will continue to get better. I'm over here. There, we'll just cut it out. But yeah, I've been pretty good. It is almost the weekend, and that's always good. Let me cut this out. Dang it, this knife is dull. This is what I've been using for the longest time. Wait, this is so cool. You've maybe want to take on a project of making Attack on Titan. Is this like from scratch, except for the figures? If you sold that, I'm sure it would be pretty expensive. Yes, so it is expensive because it's all made out of wood. This is not like 3D printed or anything like that. It is all wood. And so I have put in a lot of time into it, so I probably would not sell it for one. But it depends. Am I selling you just the diorama, or am I selling you the autographs as well? Because if I'm selling you the autographs, it's a much, much, much more expensive project. But if it's just the diorama, it's still expensive, but it isn't as bad. Let me find a bat. I was meaning to make one of these before I started, but I did not. I'll babysit Nezuko while you're gone. Yeah, she was $800. And I got her from Entertainment Earth. And she was the only one they had. And I just so happened to be looking for another plushie whenever I decided to just click on the plushie tab. And as soon as I clicked on the plushie tab, she popped up. And I was like, to be honest, at that time, I did not have $800. Did not have $800, but I decided I'm going to just buy this thing because I will never see it again. Best investment I've ever made in my life. Was I strapped for cash and had to like live off of ramen noodle for a week? Yes. Was it worth it? Yes. But I thought it was a good investment. I am making a sign. And it is taking longer than I thought. Have you seen the anime Soul Eater? It's a good anime. I have not. I actually haven't heard of that. Soul Eater. That sounds familiar. But I don't think I've heard of that one actually. Like it sounds familiar, but I don't think I've actually like heard a lot of people talking about it. So I have to look into that one. I was going to ask if a dole spot came in. I was going to ask if anyone had any anime convention recommendations, because I'm looking for new anime conventions to go to, because I've kind of gone to all of them around me, and I'd like to go to some more like out of town. And I was wondering if there were any interesting ones this on the east side of the Mississippi. So if you were in like California, I cannot, like, that would be a big jump for me. And if I go to out there, then I'll probably just go to Anime Expo because I've never been there. But I was wondering that. Let me see. Let me catch up on that. Death Note. Oh, Giant All Might. Yes. So that is the biggest Funko Pop you can buy. I did make a video on that. Hang on. We're just going to rush this because I want to get back to painting houses. I'm not going to make a sign all day. All right. I got to go get some water because my paintbrush is going to dry out. I'll be right back. My mic will disconnect if I take it that far. I am back. It did not take me as long as I thought. Thank you, Miku. You've done your job. All right. So, let's see here. Let me see where I am at. Oh yeah, Miku was there. Miku did a good job. Have not watched Fire Force. Have not watched Death Note. I am missing out on a lot of really popular series, to be honest. So I will say, I did cheat on all of these. So the houses, I did not. They're not completely carved out. So what I did is like, so they actually are about like this. You'll see there. They're like this, but I cut this in half. Then what I do is I take a piece of, I have a sander, and say this is the sander. This will be a square block. So what I'll do is I will take this and then I will push it into the sander and to create that angle. Then I will turn it around and do the same thing over there. That makes the house. So the houses are very easy. The hard part is with the trees, because originally I did find some trees or some little balls recently that have holes in them. This made it pretty easy because now I just take this and I have, hang on. I take this rod here that I have, I bought some of this, and then I just put it through there. This is the wrong size. But I do have some that's the right size. You just put it through there. There you go. So the trees are pretty easy, but originally they weren't. So what I had to do was I had to cut out a hole in the bottom of this, put my little stick into the bottom of it, and then it worked. But yeah. Yes. So all of these came from anime conventions. For instance, like Lindsay here, who voices Gabby from Attack on Titan, met her in Knoxville, Tennessee. Amberly Connors, who is the voice of Peak, or the Cart Titan from Attack on Titan, met her in Indianapolis. J. Michael Tatum, met him in Louisville. Forgot his name. The guy that plays Zeke Yeager, the Beast Titan. I met him in Columbus, Ohio. Griffin Burns, met him in Florida. And there was another one around here. I don't know if you can see it, but there is the main voice actor for Attack on Titan, who voices Eren. Oh, Bryce Papenbrook. Met him in New York. So those are some of the main ones. I forgot a paper towel. Dang. I think I got a rag over here. I'm just going to use it. No, that's my Destin rag. I'm not going to take that. Miku, your job's not done. Miku's back. Okay. Miku, don't fall over. I promise this is the last time I'll be gone. I'll be right back. Miku, guard the fort. Okay, I'm back. All right, Miku, thank you for your service. All right. All right, let me catch up on a few here. And I did find this is not used. It's brand new. I just peeled off the thing to it. So it's not like I grabbed this out of the bathroom. It's actually in my kitchen. Set that aside. Okay, let me catch up on some. I know a lot will disagree with me, but I think Soul Eater is not overhated. And overhated or overrated? I enjoyed the series. I have no idea. Never heard of it, to be honest. Cherry Blossom Miku. Yeah, she's very cute. I like Miku. If I ever met you in person, you gotta invite me over to your place. I have met a few people in person at cons and stuff, so it'd be cool to meet some more people. I will be at I'll be at WeebCon Indianapolis. I'll be at PopCon Indianapolis, and then I'll be at New York Anime NYC, and then I'll be at Anime Frontier. So if you want to see me there, see me there. It'd be really cool to meet people. Yeah, no problem, Skylar. Feel free to outburst as much as you like. Never been to an anime convention. Yeah, I really recommend anime conventions. They're very, very fun. Yes, I have made some videos on some anime merch that I have bought at conventions. They are very fun, in my opinion. Was Miku about to fall down? Have I watched Sonic? So I've watched season 1, haven't watched season 2 of the movie because they're not streaming and I've got to figure out how to watch them. But I plan to. I really like season 1. When Nezuko did well, did she cause any trouble while I was gone? Hey, someone else from Kentucky. You can probably tell by the accent. Yeah, Bryce Papenbrook is the voice of Eren. He was really nice. I do have him. There's his block. You can see it there. Pretty cool. I'll set that there in case I need to bring that up again. Let me see. Let me get through the. Do you know what House of Fae Morgana is? It's a visual novel. I've never heard of that. Is the sign reversed? Oh, dang it, I forgot to reverse everything again. Dang. Shoot, I did that. I did it right the first stream, and then I've messed it up. There's a thing on the YouTube thing to where I can reverse the, I can mirror the screen, but I forgot to do it. Dang. I gotta remember to do that. Laura, yeah. She was Annie. Yeah. Hang on. Down here. Oh, come on. Get out of there. Yeah. She was one of the first ones that I met. She's super nice. It's backwards, obviously, because I forgot to swap the thing. But yeah, very nice. It's backwards, I know, but she was super nice. I really enjoyed meeting her. I met her in Florida, and she was the last one I needed to meet because I met her, Trina, who voice is Mikasa, and Robert, who voice is Reiner, all on the same day. And she was the last one I needed to meet because she had a panel that morning. And so I basically just sat in her line, and the guy was like, "It's gonna be like 30 minutes before she gets back." I had already walked around on the floor and everything. I was like, "Look, this is the last thing I gotta do, and then I'm gonna go home. So I'm just gonna sit here." And he was like, "Okay, that's fine." So yeah, that's what I did. But she was very nice when she did get there, and she was like, "Yeah." What snacks do you have while watching anime? I'll be completely honest. I will occasionally get like a little tin of cookies or something, and I'll eat those. But once I'm done with those, like I don't buy stuff. If people are like, "Hey, we're at a party. We're not gonna eat these. Do you want to take them home with you?" I'm like, "Sure," but other than that, I don't really snack on a lot of stuff. I'll drink these. These are the Body Armor drinks. They're basically like Gatorade, but they're not as bad for you as Gatorade is. They're not good for you, but they're not as bad. So, um, yeah, I've heard Vic is a cool dude. There's a lot of them that I would like to meet. There's some, um, one that I would really like to meet, but for a role that is not one of her big ones, is Abby Trott, because I loved her voice in Fire Emblem Three Houses. She voiced Annette. I love her in that game so much. Um, I credit Fire Emblem Three Houses a lot for getting me into anime, and because it kind of introduced me to more of an anime type culture, and then basically it went from there. But Annette was one of my favorite characters from that game. Her, Edelgard. Uh, I can't really show you like a zoomed in thing of this, but I do get these stickers from it. Let me get the ones that are no good out of here. Set those aside. But I do have all these like sticker sets that I collect. They're all of the girls from Fire Emblem Three Houses. There's Annette. But yeah, pretty cool. I can't really show you a zoomed in thing of them because it's supposed to be like they're getting measurements for their outfits. But hey, pretty cool. So yeah, I really like those. They sell them on Twitter. So yeah, Ray Chase. I have met him, but I need to meet him again because I met him for his Demon Slayer stuff, but now I need to meet him for his the demon or no, I met him for Attack on Titan. I need to meet him for Demon Slayer because I didn't have him sign my Demon Slayer thing. Where the heck is he? Here we go. Found it. There you go. Ray Chase. Really cool dude. He kind of broke a guy's heart in front of me in line though, because he was like, the guy was like, "I'm gonna get every Hashira to sign this picture," and Ray Chase was like, "Good luck, dude. It ain't gonna happen because half of them are really hard to find." Because that was back whenever like two or three of them weren't doing conventions that often. Now all but one of them is doing conventions. But yeah, he was like, "Good luck, man. It's gonna be hard, but I like your optimism." And I was like, that's such a stupid idea. Who would try to get all the Hashira? Because everybody knows how hard they are to meet all of them, because there's 9 of them. They rarely appear at the same convention. Now I'm doing that. Yeah, Abby also voiced Nezuko. That's probably her most famous role. But I'm like, I like you for Annette. I mean, I do like you for that. She's also in Dandadan. I mean, she's been in a lot of cool stuff lately. But I've heard she's really nice. And I actually have her autograph because back when COVID was going on, I don't know if that'll get me demonetized. Hopefully not. Uh, but back whenever all that pandemic stuff was going on, um, I had her do the Streamly thing, and to where she signed it on a live stream and then sent it to you. Had her do that, and she signed it in a net thing for me. It's in the closet right now because I just don't know where to put it. Uh, I have not seen Naruto. I have not seen any of the big 3. So like Bleach, One Piece, Naruto. Um, Same thing with like never seen Dragon Ball. Not that I have a problem with them. It's just I haven't watched them. They're too long. Not that I think they're too long to where they're like they need to be shorter. No, they're too long, and I just don't really want to tackle them right now. The longest one I've tackled is My Hero Academia, and I think there's some of that you could have cut out. Well, I think you could have cut out the My Villain Academia, or at least made it better, because I think it kind of sucks. And I think you could have cut out the A and B class. I think they only did that just to make that class more interesting, but they were already interesting enough. You didn't really need that arc. But that's just my opinion. Why are signatures so expensive? Yeah, it kind of sucks. Especially like some of them. Some of them are like $80. Especially if you want to get like Funko Pop signed. To me, I know a lot of people get Funko Pop signed. I know they do, and that's cool and all. If you want to get Funko Pop signed, go for it. I'm not gonna judge you for it. If it makes you happy, it makes you happy. I don't care what you do. Here's the thing, though, and I know this is not like not everybody can do this because not everybody has the tools that I do. Not everybody has the time that I do, and this is not a cheap project. It's not really. It's much cheaper than you think, to be honest, because it's little wood. If you have the basic tools, you can make this stuff. It's like $100, you could make the top layer of this thing. No joke, you could. It's not that hard. Now making the rest of it, that gets more expensive. But the top layer of this, it's not that hard. But the rest of this, um, you could, to me, this is a lot cooler than getting a Funko Pop signed. Is it cool to get a Funko Pop signed and meet your favorite actor? Absolutely. If you care more about meeting them than the actual signature later on, then you're good. To me, I like having the signature on a cool thing so that I can remember it, have a really cool experience, whatever. But that's just me. If a Funko Pop is good enough for you, then that is great. But that's just my opinion. That's why I'm doing the Demon Slayer thing. I'll show it to you in a little bit because I think it's a cool experience. Do I think it's really cool to have the Funko Pop sign? Yeah, but it's not my cup of tea. Plus, they charge more for the Funko Pops than they do the thing. Plus, I like having all my Funko Pops out of the box, which kind of hurts. Uh, have you watched any Solo Leveling? Any? I have not. Not yet. I watch a special anime every 25. I'm at 115 right now, and all my air conditioning turned on. And 125 or 325 is either going to be Cowboy Bebop, Evangelion, Solo Leveling. One of the 3. Haven't decided yet. You play console or PC? I mostly play console because the PS5 is connected to the big projector up there. My computer's back here, and my computer's a Mac, so I don't have a PC right now, to be honest. Sorry, all you PC fans, I've ruined you. I have no uh, PC Master Race there for you. Which was like a big deal back whenever I started getting into it. Everybody was like, you know, PC's the best ever. Now everybody's like, I don't care. Just play on what you like. Mostly because of like cross generation or cross platform stuff. Like a PC player can play with a PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 can play with Xbox, everything else. So, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, I prefer PlayStation. That's just what I've been playing on for a long time. That's just me. PC Master Race, yeah. Hulu is getting a lot of anime. Yeah, here's the thing with Hulu that I don't like is that Hulu's subtitles look awful. Like they just look awful. And I don't know why they look so bad, but they do. I started Medalist the other day and I was like, man, these suck. Xbox gamer, Xbox is great, but the Xbox like Microsoft just hates you guys because they sure don't try anything new very often. I had an Xbox One and I ended up giving it to my stepdad at the time, and I just was like, I don't care about this thing anymore, and it kind of sucks because it was fun, but it kind of got bored of it because there wasn't anything interesting on it, to be honest. And I thought, well, PlayStation 4 is better, and I never have bought a Series X or a Series S or anything like that, just because I don't have any interest. Not that it's bad. I'm not saying Xbox versus PlayStation. I don't care. But that's just why I kind of focused on PlayStation over that. But I understand why. If you've been an Xbox player for a while, it's great. And I'll be real honest with you. 360 beat PS3 easy. Easy. Yeah, Xbox Series X or S. Also, I like physical media. Like I'm big on physical media, and they really are anti-physical media, to be honest. So that's kind of. I mean, they aren't anti-physical media, but they're not as pro-physical media as PlayStation is, or definitely Nintendo is. So that's where I'm at. Game Pass is a great thing for them. So that is one thing. I cannot deny that. They do have that going for them. Uh, PlayStation catalog sucks. For PlayStation 5, yes. For PlayStation 4, I disagree. Um, the 5, yeah. But I would I mean, here's the thing though. For like uh, Xbox though, all your stuff is on. You can pretty much play anything that's on Xbox Series S or X. You can play it on PC. There's no reason to have just an Xbox. You can play it on PC if you have a PC. With PlayStation, at least there's like some things where you're like, I can only watch or I can only play this on my PlayStation. But and if you're a GTA 6 fan, you'll have to play it on consoles before you can play it on uh, PC. So I guess that is one thing. Going for Xbox fans, you would rather do that, and then you can turn it over to your PC whenever uh, it comes out for that. Let's see here. I had trouble watching Sailor Moon on Hulu. The subtitles don't keep up with the characters, and the subtitles don't last long enough. I can't read the subtitles. Yeah, same thing. I was just like, ugh, this is a pain. And I bought a month of Hulu because I wanted to watch that. I wanted to watch Heavily Delusion, and there was another one. Oh, Summertime Rendering. I wanted to watch all of them, but it kind of annoyed me, so I just stopped. Which I need to do it because I don't want to pay her for another month of it, and I want to watch them because I do have the Japanese Blu-ray of Medalist, so that is one thing that they have going for them. Have you played any Final Fantasy games? I have not. I mentioned that I played. I'm a big Fire Emblem fan, which I know that's more JRPG, but I played a little bit, and I don't know what this would be considered. Played a little bit of Xenoblade Chronicles. Wasn't a huge fan of it, but I played a little bit of it. So there's that. But it it was fun, but just not my not. I'll be completely honest with you. I like the social elements to where at the end, not necessarily that I want to like marry one of the characters at the end of the game, But I do like at the end of like the Fire Emblem games, it'll be like, you paired up these two characters a lot. Here's what happened to them after the story. I like that, and Fire Emblem kind of like scratches that itch for me. I know there's probably other games that do that, but they really did it for me. Um, what's Persona considered? Is that JRPG or is that RPG? Um, better than Three Houses. Oh, a tactical RPG to be exact. Fire Emblem Engage is fun. I like Three Houses better than I do Engage. I do think Engage is fun, but I actually never finished Engage. I made it a long way and just never finished it. I was thinking that that would be what we play on stream if I ever get a capture card and get my uh, setup kind of doing better. But maybe we'll have to come back to that. But I really enjoyed. Engage is more colorful, yeah. I just think the story isn't as interesting as Three Houses. I think Three Houses is a phenomenal story. Especially like the Blue Lions and Black Eagles storylines. I think those are amazing. Dimitri and Edelgard, I think those are amazing characters. Claude's very fun. I don't think his story's that interesting. Yeah, technically you have to play it 4 times because you have the Claude storyline, you have the Dimitri storyline, you have the Edelgard storyline, which is technically 2 storylines because then you pick, do you want to support Edelgard, do you want to support Rhea, and then you have technically 4 times to play through the game. But I played through the game 8 times so that I could marry different characters because I first married Edelgard playing as female Byleth. Then I came back, I married Annette, I married Lysynthia, I married Leone, I married Petra, Dorothea. All right, hang on. Married Edelgard, Annette, Lysynthia, Petra, Hilda, Leone. Did I say Lysynthia? Hang on. I know how to figure this out. No, I don't, because I don't have all the characters. I played through it like 8 or 9 times. It was quite a bit, but yeah, it was worth it because I really enjoyed that game. Hang on, this is bothering me. I want to figure out how many times I played through it because I can tell you based on who I married at the end of it. I did have to end up playing. I liked female Byleth better, but let me see here. 3. I hope I don't have paint on my hands. If I do, I'm gonna have to wipe off my keyboard. 3 houses characters. Let's see here. Okay, so I married Hilda, Edelgard, Ingrid, Annette, Petra, Lysynthia, Leone. Never married Bernadetta. Didn't really care. Never married Mercedes. Didn't really care. Who's the blue-haired girl? Married her. And I married Dorothea. I thought there was more. Oh, okay. Annette, Hilda, Constance. Married Constance, yeah. Married her from the DLC. Annette, Constance, Hilda, Petra, Dorothea, the marionette, yeah, I think, the blue-haired one. Ingrid, there's another one. Leone, Edelgard, Lysynthia. I played through it 10 times, so there you go. Because I never married the one that's always like quiet and she's always talking very professional and everything. Didn't like her. Never could get into her. But yeah. Yeah, social links. I like social links. Yeah. Yeah, Ingrid. Whenever I would not marry her, I would always pair her up with him because I thought that those two worked well together. But I thought it was a very fun game. I have never played Fire Emblem. Here's the thing: if you don't like strategy games, you don't like kind of really, you know, it's a strategy game. There's no like combat or anything. You won't like Fire Emblem, but it's very fun to me because that's what I do like. I like puzzle games and everything. Um, so I did a mix of both. I did mostly regular, just because that was like I played. I played Awakening, and besides that, I hadn't really played. Uh, I did permadeath whenever I did the regular, but or not. I did permadeath um, whenever I did like I guess the classic is what you're talking about with permadeath, which I did uh, I did like 2 or 3 runs with that. I didn't enjoy it simply because I didn't get the cool character. I just liked getting the different endings at the end, to where it would be like this character ended up with this character, and this character ended up with this character, and that's where I was like, yeah, it's fun. Um, Ike's story. Oh yeah, with GameCube. Yes, yes, yes. I'm excited about that. Um, I have went back and played some of the other ones now, but I really hope we get a. I'm gonna paint 3 more. I really hope we get a. Uh, the genealogy one, like Fire Emblem 4, 3. I hope we get a remake of that someday because I think that one has the best story. From what I haven't played it, but from what I've read about it and everything, because I read like all the lore for the series and everything. I think that one has a really cool lore. Um, yeah, Radiant Dawn on the Wii, and that thing's expensive. Hot take. I think Gaiden, I think that's how you pronounce it, on like the NES has the best boss music. Um, this is gonna sound awful, but you know what? We're gonna do it anyway. Um, Let me go here. Hang on. Hang on. I'm gonna hook this up one day to where we can get it to where it'll work. Um, this. I have no clue how loud this is. Hope it ain't too loud. Yeah, there we go. That's really cool. This is a Nintendo, so I'm not worried about it being claimed or anything. But to be on like such an old console, this is good. I don't know if you guys can hear this at all. That's on like old systems. This is not something that gets played on old systems. And I know I need to figure out how to put this on something, because this sounds awful for you, I'm sure, but like, yeah, that's so cool. I love that. That's one of like I want to get that old game just so that I can have that to where that is like something that I think is one of the best final boss themes in all of video gaming because of how good it is for the time. Like no one went that hard on like even like Zelda or Mario or none of them. They did not go that hard. That is all Fire Emblem for a game that was only released in Japan, and that's it. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. Um, yeah, I gotta get uh, the further. I don't have the full Switch membership. I just have the basic one right now. I'm gonna get it whenever the Switch 2 comes out, but for right now, I just have the basic one. But I do plan on getting it soon. All right, so I have 60 houses done. Hang on, 60 houses done. What I have to do now is, as you can see there, They are not like super well done. They're definitely needing another coat. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through back and I'm going to paint all of them again. But I'm not going to do all that tonight. I'm going to paint about half of them and then we'll probably call it for tonight because my throat's starting to upset me again. Radiant is a fun action shonen anime. The Radiant Dawn, or is Radiant an anime? I don't know. Let me know. But yeah, I really enjoy Fire Emblem. It's a series that I got into right around 2019, right whenever that game came out, and I've loved it ever since. And I'll be completely honest with you, the only reason why is because there was an article that came out that was like, uh, there's lesbian options in this game, and I was like, that's nuts. I'm gonna buy this game because why not? And so I bought it, and then I played as female Byleth so that I could marry Edelgard at the end. And then while I was doing that, I was like, this game's so good. It's so good. Um, I'm telling you, Fire Emblem is really good. It's really underrated for how good it has gotten. I played Persona 5, played about half of it, got bored, and never went back to it, to be honest. It was fun, though. I mean, I didn't have a problem with it, but I just kind of got bored of it. Unless a game really hooks me, I really I don't finish a whole lot of games just because I'm too busy, don't have a lot of time and everything, but it was fun. That was kind of my problem with Cyberpunk, is that I had a lot of fun with it, but I just kind of got bored with it and then never went back to it. But it was a lot of fun. I actually streamed that. That was my first ever stream, which it's no longer on the internet because it was on Twitch and they don't save anything. Stupid people. That's why I'm here now. Rated as an anime series adapted from a French comic. Never heard of that. Interesting. I have never heard of Radiant, actually. Huh, I'll have to look that up. This is going quicker than it was to paint them originally. Mostly because I don't have to stay in the lines as bad. Have I played Death Stranding? Never did. Never did. Heard it was really good, but never did. I have not been playing as many games since I have started getting into anime just because it takes up more time. But, you know, like right now I'm playing pretty much just Fortnite. That's pretty much all the games that I've been playing. Just because I don't have a lot of time between YouTube and watching anime and then like everyday life. And so, but, every so often there'll be a game that I want to check out, so I'll do. The first opening of Radiant is one of the hype anime openings I have heard. I will have to check that out. It's either gaming or anime. Yeah, that's the thing. You basically got to pick which one you're into because, I mean, like if I am like gonna go nuts and, you know, make tons of money on YouTube, which I haven't got any like super chats or anything, so I don't think I'm gonna be going famous on YouTube anytime soon. But if I ever did, then yeah, I'd probably have more time for gaming. But right now, no. So that's where I'm at. But I'd like to stream a few things like I said, I'd like to stream Fire Emblem at some point because I think it'd be fun. And then I'd like to obviously like stream like Fortnite and stuff like that on occasion, just because I think they're a fun like chat while we're killing people with Hatsune Miku and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. But I mean, respect for people that can play games all the time. I just don't have the time. Have you seen the daily lives of high school boys? I don't. It's saved. Is it the one I'm thinking of? I have it saved somewhere to where I want to watch it, but I don't. I have not. But it's one that I have like written, like I've saved somewhere to watch. What's your best anime you've seen this year? So Easy answer is Apothecary Diaries because it's Apothecary Diaries and it's very good. The more unique answer, probably Mono. Mono's a really fun anime. I'm kind of shocked by how much I'm liking it. I think Please Put Them On Takamiya-san is like the easy one to be like, that's so good because of what's in it. But then I'm like, it's not really that good. It's just kind of, it's an ecchi series that doesn't really have a lot of good, you know. I think it's okay. It does its job, but it also is like, this is not phenomenal. Um, but it is what it is. Haven't seen Code Geass. You guys just think, man, you don't watch anything. But I mean, how many of you have watched Mono? I don't think many of you have watched Mono, to be honest. But yeah, there's movies you can watch instead of the anime. Oh, for Code Geass. Yeah, Code Geass is one that people have said since I like Attack on Titan, I'd probably like it. Food for the Soul, though, that's one that I have saved that I want to watch soon because that looks like it's right up my alley. I'm excited to start that one. I saved it the other day. I'm definitely going to be checking that one out. Because that looks like it's right up my alley for something I'd enjoy. Yeah, it's I don't know a lot about it, but just the little bit that I saw from it looks really good. Like I don't know if it's manga, anime, original, whatever, but looks really interesting to me. Moving them out of the way. How many episodes you watch daily? Oh gosh. Weekdays like 3. Weekends probably like 6. Usually I'll watch like, and 3's being generous. Like some days I'll watch 1 or 2. Usually I'll watch like right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to watch 1 episode of Mashal and 1 episode of Cafe Terrace every day. But like the last few days, I've just watched Cafe Terrace because I'm behind on Cafe Terrace. But like I'm further along on Mashal than I am in Cafe Terrace. So I'm trying to catch up with the other, but it is what it is. If it's an anime I like, then I can watch a lot. For new series that's airing, like I watch like My Hero Academia Vigilantes. I'm keeping up with that. I'm an episode behind on Please Put Them On Takamiya-san. I'm caught up with Mono. There's another one I'm watching. Oh, Apothecary Diaries. I'm caught up with that. I want to get caught up on Food for the Soul. But those I keep up with daily whenever they air. And then like stuff like Mashal and the other one I'm watching, Cafe Terrace and Goddesses. Those I'll just watch whenever I have free time because they're already out. Now there are some where I'm like, I don't care enough about this to watch it as it airs, but I will want to watch this later, and then I'll watch. That's what happened with Cafe Terrace because I didn't watch it whenever it aired. That's what I'm gonna do with Tying the Knot with the Yamagami Sisters. Haven't watched it, but I plan to. So there you go. Cowboy Bebop is goated. Yeah, it's one that I want to get into. Hunter x Hunter, haven't watched it. I'll tell you the anime that I've watched that are like major anime: Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, Mashoko Tensei, ReZero. Has anyone watched Sakura Trick? I don't think anyone's watched Sakura Trick here, but it's a fun anime. That's what I watch. But it looks interesting, especially the art style. Oh, that's the one that I've been saving because I watched 1 episode of that and I was like, I want to save this until the end. But yeah, Kowloon Generic Romance, want to save that for the end. I thought about that was one that I was gonna watch weekly, but I decided no, I kind of want to binge this because it seems like one that I'd enjoy binging. But and there's no real rhyme or reason to the ones that I decided to binge versus the ones that I decide to watch, weekly. Um, some I do, some I don't. It's it's completely random and it has no real meaning behind any of it. I'm gonna go ahead and paint all these houses real quick because they're going very quickly. I have reached halfway, so we will do them, and then maybe in a couple weeks I'll probably finish them, but we'll paint some more houses and do some more. I mean, I could sit here, like, I don't got to do a lot tomorrow. Let me check it, see what my camera's at after I get these done. Then we'll decide if we want to do more. Because then we'll draw the little lines on them, then we'll put them on. So we'll see where we're at. I should have done 30 of them. I thought this would go a lot quicker than it did. But I have to clean my brush out now. So yeah, you watch Sakura Trick. I'm glad some people have watched Sakura Trick. It is a very interesting anime, to be honest. Best Yuri anime? Don't know about that, but it's fun. Dandadan Season 2 movie theater? Yeah, I'll probably go watch it. If it comes to a theater near me, definitely go watch it. If it doesn't, probably not. I won't go way out of my way to go watch that because I enjoyed Season 1. I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it. So I will go watch it if it's near me. If it's not, I probably won't fool with it. But I'll definitely watch Season 2, though, because Season 1 was fun, but this wasn't my cup of tea. But it is like a fun series. I can't deny that. I just don't like the main character that much, to be honest. I like Okarun. I don't know what his real name is. I don't really care for him. I think he's kind of annoying, but I like her. I think she's fun. I think the whole cast is kind of annoying, to be honest, but not the cast as in like the cast of people that voices them. The cast as in the characters. But that's just my opinion. All right, best anime is Vampire Knight and Death Note and Bleach and Naruto and One Piece. I'm gonna really break your heart. Haven't seen any of them. Like I said, I watch a big anime every 25 so that I don't get burnt out on watching a lot of like big name stuff right off the bat. So the 25th anime I watched was Laid Back Camp. I know that's not a big anime that you think it is, but it was for me at the time. 50 was Love is War. It's a big one for me at the time. 75 was My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu. Once again, not as big of an anime as you'd think for most people. 100 was Spirited Away because my last 91 through 100 was all Studio Ghibli. 125 was technically ReZero. 150 was... What was 150? Oh, Konosuba. 175 was Haruhi Suzumiya. 200 was Attack on Titan. 225 was Mushoku Tensei. 250 was Demon Slayer. 275 was Chainsaw Man. 300 was My Hero Academia. 325, I'm not there yet. I'm at 315. So there you go. That's where I'm at so far. One Piece, it's all good. That One Piece will either be my 500th anime or my 1000th anime. Haven't decided yet. Laid Back Camp is really good. I enjoy it. If you haven't watched Mono yet, made by the same creator, and it's very, very fun. It's airing right now. Have you seen Nagi Asu Alone in the Sea? No, but that is one that I have almost watched a lot. It looks really fun. It's definitely on my list. To watch, not on my list of watched, my list of stuff that I want to watch. But yeah, there's a lot on that list, to be honest. Which, here's the thing that kind of hurts me is that I'll watch like 2 or 3 anime to where I'm like, these are 8 out of 10, not 8 out of 10. These are like a 6 to 7 out of 10 series. And it kind of burns me out because I'm like, it's not really doing it for me. And then I have to find a 9 or a 10 out of 10 series to really get me back in the momentum to want to watch stuff. So, Can Fear? I have never heard of it. Never heard of it. I have not watched a lot of old stuff, to be honest. I need to because I think it'd be fun, but I have not watched that. There's some old ones that I want to get into. I've heard Ghost in the Shell is getting a remake, and I'm really interested in watching the old one of that. I'd love to watch the old version of Ranma because I've really enjoyed the new version of that, but people said that the old version wasn't as good as the new version, and that the manga is better than the old version anyway. So I'm just buying the manga. But I'll probably watch the old version at some point. Have you heard of School Days? Probably that'll be my 369th anime, to be honest. Yeah, Licorice Recoil is great. I've got the uniform over there. Definitely watch Licorice Recoil. One of my favorite anime. I was trying to think of what my top 10 anime would be now. I don't think Licorice Recoil would be on it, but it was definitely one I was considering because I was like, this is one that I really enjoyed. So if it's considering, that tells you how much I like it, considering I've watched, 315 anime. I think if that series continues on and it continues to put out good stuff, it could definitely get into my top 10 one day. I'd love to see like where that series goes going forward and everything like that, because I think there's a lot of possibilities with that series. This paint is like bubbling up, and I don't know why it's doing that. Hang on. Interesting. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh well, won't be able to tell. Infinite Stratos. You are trying to find the anime that I have never heard of, and you're doing a good job because I've never heard of Infinite Stratos. Here, I'm gonna try to find anime that no one else heard about. Let me see here. The Chronicles of the Going Home Club. Has anybody watched that? I haven't watched Real Life. Has anybody watched The Chronicles of the Going Home Club? Somebody's going to be like, oh yeah, I watched that, it's great. I'm going to be like, dang it. It's got a really good OP that I have enjoyed quite a bit, but the rest of the series is kind of mid, to be honest. My Dream Boy is a realist. It is saved on my watch list, but I have not watched it. I know you're like, this dude's not watched any anime. I swear I have. I've watched 315. You just are finding everything that I haven't watched. Like, I swear I've watched stuff. Onimai, I've watched that. I know everybody knows what Onimai is. If you don't know what Onimai is, then, thank God. 3 more. And we'll check the time and the. Oh, that's painted. Dang it! I picked up one that was painted. This one's not painted. Yeah, I've been meaning to watch all of the My Hero Academia movies. Haven't watched them yet, but I plan to. Probably will do that in a few weeks. All right, last one here. All right. Houses are painted. 60 of them are painted. Okay. So here is all of our houses. You can see them all there. There's all our houses. We have 60 of them. So now, I do have that. Hang on. I gotta pick it up with this hand because I've got the series, and then I've got the movie. I don't have the 2 newest movies yet. That's on my to-buy list when I buy new Blu-ray, which I plan to soon. But right now I'm just kind of strapped for money since all the tariff stuff. But plan to. Yeah, I don't have the newest movie, or newest 2 movies, but I do have the first one. Kaiju number 8. Haven't watched that one, but I see them on Fortnite all the time because they keep adding them on there. Yeah, I assume it's pretty good. I've heard it's good. The characters look interesting, at least. Like the animation that I've seen from it so far looks pretty cool. Stop. Listen. So, okay. So I own SSS Gridman on Blu-ray. I own the limited edition, actually. I haven't watched it. Now, hear me out. So, like, okay. I swear I've watched some anime. Here, I'll tell you the newest 15 anime that I've watched. All right, here we go. Let's click there, and we'll scroll down. So I've kind of been on this like lull where I haven't been watching a ton, but the newest 15 anime that I've watched, Ghost Cat Anzu. Anybody heard of that? Probably not. Sumamasho. That's the one about the little girl that my wife got turned into an elementary schooler. That's that anime. Girls Band Cry, 365 Days to the Wedding, Ranma and a Half Remake, Don, there you go. You Are Miss Servant, The Colors Within, Punaru's The Kawaii Slime, Mashal Season 1, Attack on Titan The Last Attack, which is just the movie recap thing. My Senpai is in Otonoko, Okitsura, Sakamoto Days, Amiku Who Can't Sing, and Sai Kano How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend. Season 1. So those are what I've watched so far with since 300. Past 300, it's like $2.99 is like Bunny Drop, Nara Nara Cheer for You, Pseudo Harem, the Godzilla trilogy, VTuber Legend, how I went viral after forgetting to turn off my stream, Look Back, Days with My Stepsister, stuff like that. Like I'll just scroll here and I'll click a random one. Tamayomi, The Baseball Girls. Yeah, a lot of the recent stuff I've been trying to catch up with seasonals that I skipped. So, yeah. Yeah, I haven't watched a lot of this old stuff. Like, I do on occasion, but I just, I like watching some of the newer stuff. I think it's fun. And it gives me stuff to talk about and everything. I like old stuff, like, the old stuff I watch is like stuff like, I mean, they're kind of big name ones, but like, shoot, the biggest anime that there is, pretty much, technically. Haruhi Suzumiya, that one. I've watched like that, Lucky Star, stuff like that. That's what I like watching old stuff like that. Paranoid Agent, yeah. I think they have the Blu-ray for that at my local Barnes & Nobles. It's been there for a long time, if I remember right. Did you watch Attack on Titan Junior High? I liked the series. Yeah, it was fun. it's not. My only problem with it is that I wish it kept going. The manga, I've got the manga for it. It's very fun, and the manga keeps going past where the series does. But I wish it kept going, but it just didn't. They just stopped it. Uh, okay. Let me check this. Okay. Um, watch it during the fall season. Okay. I will check it out. Next time I go there, I'll buy it. Because I think it's on sale actually. I think it's got a sticker on it. Yeah, because the summer season is gonna be packed because there's a lot of stuff coming out in summer. But I'll check it out. I really will. I'll check it out. Um. Okay. So it is a little late. We've been streaming for almost 2 hours. Yes. I can't say that I'll get to it very quickly, but I will try to pick it up the next time I'm there, if it's still there and if it's what I think it is. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but I will try to get to it sometime in the next few months. How many episodes is it? Oh, yeah. But if you guys want to tune in next week, I may come back and I may paint more houses later. But 13 episodes sound bad at all. I'll be able to get through that very easily. I may come back this weekend one day and finish painting some houses. I can't guarantee that, but I might. I definitely will have a video out on Saturday, so stay tuned for that. And then, yeah, I plan to do a Fire Emblem stream whenever I get a capture card and I am able to figure out how to do that very well. Right now, I'm trying to get like Streamlabs going because I'm trying to figure out how to do that very well because I don't want to be unexperienced with that whenever I try to do an actual stream. So right now, I'm not using Streamlabs, but I want to get into that. If I do a Fire Emblem stream, I'll just start from the beginning and do a brand new save. But we'll look into it. We'll look into it. But we'll have a video out on Saturday. It will be another reviewing every anime that I've ever watched. So stay tuned for that. There'll be. I have been missing out on some shorts because I had to edit a bunch of them and I had to go back and do a bunch. But I promise I will get back on shorts before long. They should be back either tomorrow or on Sunday. They will get back going normal. And yeah. But next week, the plan is to build a Lego set and talk about Andor, and then we'll talk about anime as well. But we're going to talk about my opinion on Andor as a series. I'm going to go in depth with it, and I think what I might buy is actually the U-wing because I think that's really cool, and it's yeah, Lego build a set, and we'll talk about Andor. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But yeah, also let me know what you guys think. Did you enjoy this type of video? Because we really didn't I didn't do a whole lot. A lot of it was just me sitting here painting stuff, and you guys were talking, and I tried to talk to you with it. Let me know what you thought. If you enjoyed it, so I'll do more of this kind of stuff. If you didn't, then we'll go back and we'll just talk about more anime, and I'll just sit here and stare at the screen for a little while. Let me know what you enjoy. Let me know what you don't, and that gets me a good idea of what to stream, what not to. So yeah. I am trying to find a new mic setup because right now my mic is connected to my camera and I can't charge my camera, which my camera is a phone right now. It's not my phone, but it's a older phone. So what I'm having to do is I'm having to charge the mic hooked up to the camera, and then the camera, it cannot be charged while I'm having the mic set up. So that's a problem because now I can only stream for do I drink Coke? Not that super often. Like I will if I'm like eating food, but sometimes. But I've actually not drink as much. I don't drink as like I drink a lot of tea, but I don't drink a lot of Coke. Like I might drink like maybe one every other day, but you know. This is body armor. This is I know it's backwards. I'll fix that next time. This is body armor. It's a really good drink for me. It's basically like Gatorade, but it's got like no artificial flavoring or anything like that. It's basically like coconut water and a bunch of fruit juices in it, and I think it's pretty good. Um, it uh, it doesn't give me, because I have a lot of acid reflux problems. It doesn't give me acid reflux as much as like Gatorade and other things do, especially like soft drinks and everything. And it's got some flavor in it, and I don't like flavored water, so that's just my opinion. But anyway, next week we'll talk about Andor. Video coming out on Saturday because the Friday videos are no more. They're on Saturdays now. Monday will be a news video, and then Wednesday we'll be doing something different because we're not doing unboxings right now. I do have a few unboxings, but not every video is going to be, not every product I get is going to be unboxed anymore. Like this is not going to be a video. This is going to be short. So, yeah. Yeah, that is all for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, let me know what you thought of the stream. If you enjoyed it and you want to see more stuff like this, or if you want to see more of the anime stuff, and this was the third live stream, and it is by far the longest because the longest one before now, I think, was an hour and 30 minutes. This is right over 2 hours now. So I did not realize. I thought it was about 40 minutes in. And then I looked up and I was like, oh, 121 minutes. Dang. But anyway, thank you for watching. I will talk to you guys very soon, and I will talk to you guys next week for another live stream. So thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye. Now I got to figure out how to turn off the camera again. I'll figure it out. Goodbye.